I thought Gascard Dupuis was the one responsible. We executed him.
Could he have been playing dead?
I am sure, Sirrah. He was beheaded. I will speak to my superiors and alert the city guard. They'll keep a lookout for your mother. In the meantime, you should return to where your mother was last seen. You may find some clues.
I just tried the lyrium. It made me feel tingly.
I've been thinking about what happened with Hadriana. I took out my anger on you, undeservedly so. I was not myself. I'm sorry.
I had no idea where you went. I was concerned.
I needed to be alone. When I was still a slave, Hadriana was a torment. She would ridicule me, deny my meals, hound my sleep. Because of her status, I was powerless to respond, and she knew it. The thought of her slipping out of my grasp now. I couldn't let her go. I wanted to, but I couldn't.
I'm glad you killed her then.
I should be happy now that Hadriana is dead. Instead, I feel nothing but disquiet. This hate. I thought I'd gotten away from it, but it dogs me no matter where I go. To feel it again, to know it was they who planted it inside me. It was too much to bear. But I didn't come here to burden you further.
You don't need to leave, Fenris.
I think it would be best for both of us if I did.
There's an elven woman here, Messere. She claims... She... was sent here by you. I didn't know what to tell her.
I understand your name. After a famous night.
Everyone always brings up the name.
I've not heard of Sir Aveline. Is she very famous?
You've had luck on your travels? No? Nothing new to report, I'm afraid.
Ooh, enchantment.
I've got something for you.
Ooh. Did you get this from Master Island? Mythal, did I miss some important occasion? I'm so sorry. I'll make it up to you, I promise.
There's no occasion, Meryl. I just thought you'd like it.
I do like it. I'm sorry I'm making a mess of this. No one has ever given me a present before. Useful things. Tools or clothes. Because I needed them, not just because. Maseranis, I'll find a good place for this. By the Dread Wolf! Why is my house always such a mess when people are here? It's clean sometimes, I swear.
I have something for you.
It's a book.
It's the book...
Slaves are not permitted to read. I've never learned.
It's not...
Isn't it? Sometimes I wonder. I don't mean to seem ungrateful. I do appreciate the thought. I've always wanted to learn more of Shartan. Perhaps this is my chance. Last bottle of the Egregio. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
And what's that?
The anniversary of my escape. Astia Vala Firmundis. Care to hear the story?
I enjoy listening to you talk.
There are few pleasures greater than speaking with a beautiful woman. Let's see. You've heard of Saharan? The Imperium and the Qunari have fought over the island for centuries now. I was there with Daenerys during a Qunari attack. I managed to get him to a ship, but there was no room for a slave. I was left behind. I barely got out of the city alive.
I thought Daenerys considered you valuable.
He wasn't given a choice. The look on his face as the ship pulled out was priceless. There are rebels in the Saharan jungles called Fog Warriors. They found me and took me in, nursed me back to health. I stayed with them for a time, until Daenerys finally came for me.
Were you with these Fog Warriors willingly?
I'd grown fond of the rebels. They bowed to no master and fought for their freedom. It was beyond my experience. When Daenerys came, they refused to let him take me. He ordered me to kill them. So I did. I killed them all.
Why would you do such a thing?
It felt inevitable. My master had returned and this fantasy life was over. But once it was done, I looked down at their bodies. I felt I couldn't. I ran and never looked back.
Couldn't you have found other Fog Warriors? Become a rebel?
Even if I did, I felt unworthy. I had no way of knowing if I could truly escape from Daenerys then. I didn't even know what that meant. I simply had to get away. I stowed aboard a ship to the mainland and moved south, chased by my former master every step of the way.
I have to wonder why you stayed with Daenerys as long as you did.
You have not been a slave. A slave does not dream of freedom or wonder at possibilities. You think only of your master's desires and what the next hour will bring. It did not occur to me that I could be anything else until I had a taste of it.
But there are stories of slaves rebelling all the time. They did in Kirkwall.
The ritual that gave me my markings also stripped me of my memory. Whatever I was before may as well have never been. Perhaps if I knew, I might have felt differently.
How well did you know these Fog Warriors?
I knew them only a few months, but in that time, I felt as if I truly lived. They were bold, strong, free with their affections. I was in awe of them and owed them everything. And I turned on them even so.
Didn't Daenerys stop you?
The rebels had wounded him. The soldiers he brought attempted to capture me, unsuccessfully. It was weeks before Daenerys was able to mount the hunt in earnest, but by then, I was already gone.
This can't be easy to talk about.
I've never spoken about what happened to anyone. I've never wanted to. Perhaps this is what it means to have a friend.
Perhaps you're right.
To you, Hawke. May I fight at your side for years to come. We should move on.
Everything here is cold. Hard stone. I wish I'd worn shoes with soles now. Did you step on something sharp, Fenris?
No?
Slam your fingers in a door?
No.
I've got something for you, Varric.
My father's signet ring. Where did you find it? Bartrand pawned it off to pay for the expedition. I can't believe you found it. This sounds exactly like the sort of fake thing I'd make up about you.
When you tell people, mention that I got it from the belly of a dragon.
I'll throw in a couple of werewolves and a griffin for balance. Well, maybe now my contact at the gates of Orzammar won't ignore my letters. Harrimont is hoping that if he just shuts his eyes tight and wishes, the real world will go away. Anyway, I owe you one, Hawk. Remind me later to put you on my tab.
Smack your head in a low beam?
Is there a point to this line of questioning?
Just wondering why you're so cross all the time.
Perhaps it's the inane prodding.
Are you one of them? So he comes down wearing nothing but his gold.
I thought you might like this.
You got me a gift? I hardly think I've done anything to deserve that. Is it a... That's a Tevinter Chantry amulet. Do you want me to get executed? It's sacrilege to wear those in any land under the Divine.
The Divine condemned their chantry because it freed mages from the Circle. I thought you might sympathize.
I like it. Maybe not on the outside of my clothes. I'm not that eager to face the hangman's noose. But I appreciate the thought. I've never really thought about what life would be like in the Tevinter Chantry. In the Circle, they make it sound like the Void itself. The Black Divine stalking Thedas, making it unsafe for kittens and virgins.
Mages have been free in Tevinter forever. It hasn't fallen yet.
Well, they did invade the Black City in their hubris and unleash Darkspawn on us all, right? That's kind of the Circle's whole rationale. But I think that has more to do with being a Magister than a mage. I appreciate the gift. Perhaps one day I can return one as meaningful. I can't go on like this.
Turn up your purses, Kirkwall. The leases of... Turn up your purses, Kirkwall. The leases of Javaris Tintok are up for grabs.
The Blight take these pickaxes.
What's the problem?
Look, sorry about that. These shoddy pickaxes break their handles more often than they break rock.
How can I help?
I asked Hubert for new ones ages ago, but he ignored me. I even found a smith in Lowtown that sells them cheap. You could go buy them for us. They'd help us work more efficiently.
I can do that. What's the smith's name?
I don't actually recall. It was a while back. He's a smith, though. Can't be too many of them in Lowtown. Me and the boys used to go hunting round here. Lately, though, there's no wildlife. Not even one scrawny grouse.
Are you the smith?
I'm a smith?
Is Smith your name or your profession?
Yep.
The miners at the Bone Pit need new pickaxes.
It'll cost you.
I'm buying in bulk. How about a discount?
Nope.
How much will this buy me?
Enough. I'll send them.
Feel free to browse my wares. The profits help Ferelden refugees, here and at home. Feel free to browse my wares.
So this relic you mentioned losing...
You have...
Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day.
I wish I could have seen you give Evit's Marauders what for.
Fine day, Sarah.
Nothing going on, Hawk. You'd be the first to know if there was.
Demons.
Good day, Sarah.
It is apparently not enough that the Qunari define my political life. They must also infect what I hold personal. It is my son, Seamus. The life you saved, he would now squander by converting to the Khun. He has left for the Qunari compound. Please, Sarah Hawk, convince Seamus to come home.
The Arishok says nothing good about Kirkwall, yet he accepts conversions?
I cannot understand him. Maker knows I've tried, but he landed with, what, a few hundred men? Add up the deaths and defections, and the Arishok must need to bolster his ranks. I'm sure my son is quite the symbolic prize.
Did anyone else see him leaving for the compound?
He made no secret of it. I'm sure he intended it as another of his statements about closer relations. Your example inspired him. I might agree, but now is not the time. These matters are delicate.
He's politically dangerous, you mean?
The office must remain strong, Sarah Hawk.
He is of age. The decision seems rightly his.
I want to let him find his way, but in my position, he's taken a great deal of inspiration from you. I want to allow his idealism, but not blindly. At best, my opponents will claim that my office is now in Qunari hands. At worst, I lose my son.
He's your child. How fast can he be?
Who knows? He might actually listen to you. No one else has dealt as closely with the Qunari. I hope he will see that we can be accepting and still be a proud citizen of Kirkwall. I wish we could all see that. Bring my son home, Sarah Hawke. This could all go very wrong.
Trap. The target. They don't reach the combat. You'll get more than you bargained for.
That should do.
Let this be a lesson.
Gotcha!
You're pitiful. Give up now.
So who hired that lot? Anti-Qunari? Anti-Viscount? Or Seamus himself not wanting to be rescued?
Seamus isn't the type.
Hey, I think I knew that man back in Antiva. Bye!
Well, hope the Arishok hasn't grown attached to the Viscount's boy.
Sarah Hawke.
I'm here about the Viscount's son.
Are you? In 4 years, I have made no threat, and fanatics have lined up to hate us simply because we exist. But despite lies and fear, Baz still beg me to let them come to the Qun. They hunger for purpose. The son has made a choice. You will not deny him that.
You're biased. You need to replace your dwindling troops.
Only a fool arms a captive. Vidithari make a free and educated choice.
Join or die.
Lives are short compared to eternity. Death would be the obvious choice if there were any truth to your beliefs. It doesn't matter. He chose the Qun in a time of peace. His life was not at risk. He is no prisoner. He is not even here. He went to his father. Ask the Viscount why he would send you and a letter both.
That probably could have been mentioned earlier.
They are meeting at the Chantry. A last pointless appeal, I assume.
He is strained with the Chantry. He would not involve them.
No, but we know who would. Mother Patrice.
A suspect in many things. If she has threatened someone under my command again, there is only one response.
Don't make things worse by marching your men through the streets without cause.
This is cause. This is the last insult I will suffer, Hawke. I will be watching. Vidithari are of the Qun. This offense will have an answer. You will resolve this matter with these agents of the Chantry, Hawke. I am watching.
Sirrah Hawke, look at what you have done. To pounce upon the Viscount's son, a repentant convert in the Chantry itself. A crime with no excuse. Your Qunari masters will finally answer.
You've been a headache. But to outright kill someone? That's new for you.
He deliberately denied the Maker. How many would follow if he went unpunished? And yet, even this sympathizer will inspire vengeance when his brutal murder is exposed.
You won't get the Qunari ousted. You'll get a slaughter. On both sides.
To die untested would be the real crime. People need the opportunity to defend faith, starting with you. Earn your reward in this life and next. These heretics must die!
Go for the face! Away with you!
Need us.
Oh, Stand back!
If we kill them, we get their... Who's next? Aim for the throat!
Do you see, Your Grace? Traitors attacking the very core of the Chantry. They defile with every step.
There is death in every corner, young mother. It is as you predicted. All too well.
Forgive me, Your Grace, but you must know the truth about what happened here.
Don't you spout your Qunari filth. This is a hand of the Divine.
I have ears, Mother Patrice. The Maker would have me use them.
Viscount Dumas' son is dead. Killed here in your name.
I'm sure my name won't like that. Patrice?
Seamus Dumas was a Qunari convert. He came here to repent and was murdered.
It's a ruse, Your Grace. Seamus was killed to set people against the Qunari.
This is no longer a matter of heathens squatting in the docks. People are leaving us to join them.
And we must pray for them like any other.
They deny the Maker.
And you diminish him, even as you claim his side. Andraste did not volunteer for the flame. Sirrah Hawke, you act on behalf of the Viscount? The young mother has erred in her judgment. A court will decide her fate. The Chantry respects the law, and so must she.
Grand Cleric? Grand Cleric?
We protect those of the Qun. We do not abandon our own.
Please, send for Viscount Dumas.
My son. Murdered in the heart of the Chantry by those who held a sacred trust. What hope for this city when we fail our own so completely?
This is not over, Excellency. The city needs a leader.
It does. And I am no longer that person. Please. Hawke. Leave me.
people will not be quick to forget the Viscount's son, and that this happened in the Chantry.
There's all...
I've heard about the Circle of Magi outside of the Imperium, but I've never been in one. Are you certain it's wise for us to come here, considering who we're with?
Maybe not, but we'll be cautious.
This seems more like a prison. I wonder if it's more effective than the Circle I know.
How is the Imperial Circle of Magi different?
Once upon a time, it was as it is here. The Chantry watched the Magisters closely for any signs of corruption or weakness. Then it changed. The Magisters were permitted to watch over their own, and Templars kept only to enforce the law. What happened next was inevitable. The Magisters rule again, as powerful as they ever were.
You said the Chantry used to watch the Magisters. Why did they stop?
You must remember that the attitude towards magic is different in Tevinter. Magisters came from wealthy families, bloodlines that had nurtured magical talent for countless generations. The Chantry was not trying to control poor peasants, but the scions of the greatest houses in the Imperium.
I thought the Magisters had been thrown down by the Chantry.
On the contrary, Andraste never defeated the Imperium. A great army conquered the south, but not the north. The Magisters eventually surrendered to the Chantry, but they did so on their terms. They kept their influence. Thus, they reclaimed what they lost over the centuries. Some battles are lost by inches.
You talk about the Magisters as if they are all evil.
I have no doubt that some are good and noble men, strong enough to resist temptation. But how many temptations do you wish to offer a man before he will give in? Blood magic is everywhere in Tevinter, from the lowliest apprentice up to the Archon himself.
You can't have seen this for yourself.
Daenerys talked about it often. Of course, they say it's forbidden. Behind the smiles and closed doors, however, it's a different matter. To be a Magister in Tevinter is to be glorious. To be a powerful Magister in Tevinter, that is worth any price.
You're saying the same thing could happen here?
If the mages were permitted to be their own watchers, of course. It is too easy for a mage to resort to blood magic if they feel the need is great enough. A mage can desire power, justice, revenge, protection. Any cause will do, and then they are lost.
You're saying that locking mages up is better?
All I am saying is the Imperium offers no answer. All that Andraste did long ago to end the tyranny of magic has been undone.
She freed our people as well, but it was your Chantry that ended that.
And who enslaved us in the first place? Don't be naive. Power corrupts, as they say, and mages have power enough already.
Treating every mage like a criminal isn't the answer.
And not every mage deserves the benefit of the doubt.
Injustice cannot be answered with injustice.
Freedom is a noble ideal, but I see no oppression here. I see fear and danger. But enough. I'm sure we came here for a reason.
Sir Ulrich is dead. Praise the Maker.
you certain it's wise for us to come here? Considering this seems more like a What happened next was in the Chantry. Thus they reclaim blood magic. To be a magister in a mage can desire power, justice, revenge, protection. Any cause will do, and then they are lost.
You can't say every mage is corrupt.
All I am saying is the power corrupts, as they say, and mages have power enough already.
What the Circle does here is better than the alternative.
An alternative I am very familiar with.
Herding mages together and putting them under lock and key? It can't be the answer.
Freedom is a noble ideal, but enough.
Sir Ulrich rescued me from my sins.
Are you certain it's wise for us to come here?
I don't think the Templars will be surprised to see another mage here, do you?
Maybe not.
Are there many Dalish here?
You're not helping.
This seems more like a prison. I wonder if it's more effective than the Circle I know.
How is the Imperial Circle of Magi different?
Once upon a time, it was as it is here. The Chantry watched the Magisters closely for any sign. Then it changed. What happened next was inevitable. The Magisters... The Chantry... Thus, they reclaimed what they lost over the centuries. Blood magic. To be a Magister into... A mage can desire power, justice, revenge, protection. Any cause will do. And then they...
The ones that are lost should be dealt with.
That is the question, isn't it? Who should deal with them? All I am saying is the Imperium offers no answer. All that Andraste did long ago to end the tyranny of magic has been undone.
She freed our people as well.
Power corrupts, as they say. The Chantry was not trying to control. Thus, they reclaimed what they lost over the centuries. Blood magic is... To be a Magister in Tevinter is to be glorious. To be a powerful Magister in Tevinter, that is worth...
Kirkwall may not have the best circle, but at least we're not Ferelden.